So what are y'all doing on this fine, wet, rainy Louisiana December day? I got a roast on the smoker there. It's gonna be rice and gravy. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell are you doing a rice and gravy out of a smoked roast on the smoker? Well, ordinarily the way I would do it is I would brown my roast in a cast iron pot and then put that cast iron pot lid off on the smoker and slow cook it in that cast iron pot on my smoker. Done that several times, it's great. But you get a smoky flavor, but mainly it's in your gravy. You don't have a real heavy smoke in your meat itself. My wife and I both like a heavy smoke taste. A lot of people don't, we do. So we've done the roast in the cast iron pot on the smoker a few times. I'm experimenting today, and I'm gonna smoke that roast on the smoker. And then you're probably wondering, well, how in the hell are you gonna get rice and gravy out of a smoked roast? I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna take that roast off the smoker right before it would ordinarily be done, and I'm gonna put it in the pressure cooker. I'm gonna make me an instant gravy, and I know that probably turns a lot of you off, instant gravy, but everybody around this part of the country likes them some plate lunches. If you found a place that you like a really good rice and gravy plate lunch, the odds are pretty great you done ate you some instant gravy and liked it. So there is that. I'm gonna saute my onions and my garlic, and then I'm going to add that to Tony Chachere's instant gravy mix. Makes a really good instant gravy. I'm gonna whoop up some instant gravy, add my onions and my garlic to that, and then I'm gonna put that in the pressure cooker, instant pot, and finish off that roast under pressure with that gravy that I make. And we're gonna see how that turns out. Hopefully, best of both worlds. Rice and gravy, smoked meat. We'll have, hopefully, a really good smoky flavor in the meat itself, and also have some rice and gravy. What could be better? Rice and gravy, smoked meat. So instead of smoking over pecan or hickory or oak, like most people would do, I'm using mesquite. The wife and I both like a heavy smoke taste, so I smoke with mesquite oftentimes. If I'm smoking a chicken or a stuffed chicken or, brisket, I usually use mesquite. That way you don't have to have a lot of smoke to get a smoked taste. So we're gonna roll with the mesquite on that roast and see what happens. So, got bored, rice and gravy, smoked meat, let's try the both. So, also got a little whiskey. This is LA1 whiskey that is distilled and bottled right here in Louisiana, Thibodaux, Louisiana to be exact. I cannot find any evidence to the contrary that is true. A lot of these small craft whiskey brewers, distillers, they are simply just buying whiskey from a big distillery somewhere up north and blending it, putting it in a bottle and saying, look at here, we made this small batch whiskey. Ooh, it's so good. I really like Whistle Pig whiskey, and come to find out, Whistle Pig is one of those whiskeys that it's just a brand name that buys a whiskey from a big distillery. I started to say refinery, but it's close, but not quite. And they blend whatever and they sell it as their own. Great whiskey, but it's kind of not what I'm after, So I can't find any evidence to the contrary that when LA1 says they are distilling and bottling this right here in Thibodaux, Louisiana, I can't find any evidence otherwise. It's a really good whiskey. I stumbled upon it at Albertsons. I think it's ordinarily $59 for a fifth. It was $50 a fifth. So thought I'd give it a try. Good. I like it. Very good. Now you can go broke drinking $50 a fifth whiskey if you like whiskey as much as I like whiskey. If whiskey is an every afternoon thing, then maybe do what I do, and during the week have your George Dickel. I like George Dickel unaged whiskey. I like what moonshine is. It's all whiskey. It's all, you know, either it's straight out of the coal unaged, or it's aged in oak barrels, and that's where you get the color. The darker the color, the longer it's been aged, whatever. George Dickel makes a clear, unaged whiskey. It's probably the base corn mash whiskey that they use, and they're just selling it before they age it in barrels. Really good, reasonable. I also like Firefly moonshine. I like Old Smoky moonshine. There's all different moonshines. There's some that, you know, you can't get around here. I have ordered from various different places. If you watch that show Moonshiners, the guy Tim Smith, his Climax moonshine that he makes right there in Climax, Virginia, that's really good stuff. So you don't have to drink $50 a bottle of whiskey, even though you like whiskey on a regular basis. So there you go. I just gave you 2 whiskey referrals, recommendations, whatever. LA1 whiskey made right here in Thibodaux, Louisiana, and George Dickel unaged white whiskey. Really good corn squeezins. So there you go. Hope you folks is enjoying yourself. And I'm going to let you know how that roast and rice and gravy turns out with that smoked roast.